Hello everyone, and welcome to the Bahrain Grand Prix. So then, this is of course the fourth round of the AOR PC Split 1 Championship. After having of course won last race, very happy with that win, and looking now hopefully to beat Kifla once again to go, I think I'm 1 point behind from what I recall in the championship, so not far at all, but still a little way behind in the championship. So my main target at the moment is Kifla, just hoping to beat him in this race if I can. So Bahrain then, as usual, joined me on my out lap for my qualifying lap, just backing right off there from Jack First ahead. I think it was Jack First, one of the Red Bulls I believe. Just to make sure that I really was a little bit cold there, making sure I give a nice big gap to him. Now, I will say that these first two sectors of this lap are one of the best sectors I've ever done in the league race. Not ever done full stop, I've done better in practice, but in league races, particularly this first sector. So watch this then. Used all of my curves in front of the line, just about used it all as we come to the line, so that was pretty much perfect to begin with. DRS is wide open. I've gone for the slightly shorter gears this race than I have done previously, so into Red for quite a while. Braking very late, almost at the 100 meter, but I get slowed down right nicely, just bang on the apex there. You can't take it any sweeter than that. Almost full throttle through there, pretty sweet. Could have taken a little bit more speed there maybe, but not far off perfect at all. And right up through the gears once again, you stay in sixth then run down to the end of here. After 100 meter, when you're braking very late, braking once again to get out to first, get it all turned in, get on the throttle as early as you can, and that was pretty sweet there once again. No wheels from the exit at all, and there we go, 3.5 tenths up on my best. So I cut a little bit of a corner there, managed to avoid extending, but I continue with the lap a little bit deep there. I continue with the lap because that's a full throttle corner. I don't believe I gained any time through there, and did miss my apex, so it put me off, then missed my apex for the next corner, but we'll deal with that, and braking as late as we possibly can. Now nail the apex nicely, get on a good exit, and that was absolutely sweet as well. Could have perhaps braked a little bit later, but just avoided the curve. You want to try and avoid that curve on the outside, and I was so close to manage to avoid it. It's been a pretty awesome lap so far, down to third then, get it all turned in, get on the throttle hard on the curve, want to avoid that curve if you can, manage to and not quite do that. So first sector has been pretty much perfect. Second sector was very good, not quite perfect, but very good. And I'm 4.5 tenths up, almost half a second up on my already good lap. I was hoping for a 0.5 in this quality. I'm on for a 0.4, and I had a pretty poor final sector then on my previous laps. Hopefully I can improve that again. Wasn't an amazing last corner, could have taken better speed, and once again there. And I've just basically lost it. I've just gone, wow, half a second up, and I got well by that and messed up the last two corners there, unfortunately. And there we go, lost a bit of time there from my already poor final sector. So it's 29.507, give me position to pole. And looks like Uma has managed to beat me there, though, 2 pole position right at the death. 100th and a half rather up, so very close indeed, but fair play to him, just about managed to beat me. Awesome lap with the Furcom behind, and Kifla's down in 7th there, but I can tell you he did qualify on prime tyres, so we'll see how that plays out during the race. Sound like Christian now in the race. But yeah, disappointed I messed up the last couple of corners. I wonder that could have been a 0.2 if I nailed those half out in a couple of corners, but just lost it under pressure there for being on such a good lap then. So pretty standard setup for me. Nothing particularly special in that. As I said, running slightly shorter gears than I normally would do. It does help you with race pace if you run shorter gears, so that's what I've done. Option prime then, and you can do a one-stop in this race. A one-stop is possible. You have to be so careful on the tyres. But, I mean, I didn't think it was possible to do a two-stop in Malaysia, and Kifla did it. I was on a three-stop, so I got a feeling with being on primes, Kifla might well be going for a one-stop, so we'll keep our eye on him, but we'll see how it plays out. I am definitely aiming for a two-stop, but it is still in the air. If I'm, if I end up 10-second lead after the first stint, for example, I probably will go for a one-stop, but we'll see how we get on then. So we're on the grid now. We've gone to lean straight to Rick's mixture. We've got 5 lights then. We're on the rubber on the left-hand side here. Not quite full throttle. Not really full throttle start on this one because you do need the rear tyres, so just be a little bit careful with them. And there we go. Uma's got a slightly better start, and now I'm finally full throttle then, and Kurz. And here we go then. So we're going to have a little look at the inside of Kifla. So Uma ahead here. And they're braking right down to first gear, get it nice and tight the apex. He's around me outside, they give him a little bit of room there and got pushed a little bit. And looks like he's spun. Uma's actually managed to spin behind me there. And very similar to what happened in China, to be honest with you. He just spun on my side pod. So weird that happens. I mean, I did give him room on the outside there. And I did brake perhaps a little bit later than I would have liked. But I don't think that was an unreasonable start. And he ended up spinning on my side pod. Really strange stuff. So there we go. I'm running to the lead anyway after the first corner. I think I would have got the lead anyway, even if Kifla didn't make contact with me, to be honest with you. I was up his inside, but even so, I'm very happy with that start. I'll take that any day. It's always good to be in the lead, and this is the first time I've led the lead on pace this season, I do believe. Yes, I mean, I have been in the lead, I think in Australia at least, when I was on a bit of a weird strategy, but yeah, this is the first race that I've led the race on pure pace, so there we go. But just trying to pull a gap to Furkan now behind. Just pushing just to try and keep up with DRS. Because I know that slipstream and DRS is very powerful on this track. And even if you can't overtake the guy ahead, you can usually stick with them nice and easily with the slipstream. And you don't really lose too much time through dirty air. That's why the only one you really lose time is you lose a little bit in that corner. And you lose a little bit in the second sector. But I'll show you the corners. But that's about it, really. Other than that, I mean, here you're gaining time. This final corner you don't really lose. It's too slow. Don't lose any time in the dirty air. Oh, I didn't want to do that. They're all over the curb. No curves to defend with, but I think I'll get away with that. And I believe I'm on rich mixture, so he will be gaining on me, though. Let's see how much he gains on me behind. And look at that. He's absolutely reeling me in. And I'm going to stick to the middle of the track. So I may have to make him do a very aggressive move with the inside, which he decides against. Get also down, but I've gone deep, though. I've gone very deep. You can look at me inside here, then. The outside of that corner, I'm going to have to give him room. He's right off the front on the apex. And that's him past me then, so fair play to him there. Going to go to Rich now, they're right in his slipstream. Going to try and get him back straight away, need to not mess about. He's going to stick to the inside of the track. Going to go right up to inside, then brake very late, right down to first gear, get it all slowed down. Going to try and get the throttle very, very early to try and get the inside of the next corner, but no, he's managed to get a better exit once again. So fair play to Firkin, their awesome move to get back into the lead. But this is the corners that you really lose a lot of time in. So I was trying to get out of his dirty area, but trying to go up the inside here, but thinking better of that. But I've pressured him into running wide there, so that's always good for me. And I'm getting hard on the throttle on the exit there. And I'm going to bring very, very cautiously into this corner. I don't want to be lag bubbling him. I also want to make sure I get a really sweet exit from this corner. Nice lot of slipstream you get from here, which Jack First has not done that at all. You can see how much he lost on me on the exit there by not doing what I did. But really in now in this slipstream, and hopefully I better do the same to him what he did to me down the start-finish straight. Just trying to nail these corners now, stay out of his dirty air as much as I can, and now get in his slipstream when it's full throttle. And easily take that corner on full throttle, even in slipstream and even in dirty air. Trying to get on the throttle early as you possibly can. I ran a little bit wide, actually straight in the wheel early there. I think I expected a bit of oversteer, which I just didn't get, and ended up running right off the track. But nicely into a slipstream now. You particularly get loads and loads of slipstream in 6th and 7th gear. Before that, you won't really notice the difference. But once you get into 6th and 7th, that's when you really start bringing them in. So you've got lots of curves left, though, to try and attack him. And you see the curves already giving you nice advantages, and now in slipstream in 7th gear. So look at this, absolutely reeling him in without DRS yet, of course. And I mean, rev limiter, they've got quite short gears, as I mentioned before. Going to have a look up his inside, though, see if I can get it slowed down a bit nicer than I did last lap. Managed to nail the apex nicely this time, and hopefully that should stop him from being able to overtake me again. And it did indeed, so that was a much tidier first corner there for me. But he's all over my rear end here. I'm going to have to use 100k curves, looks like it. And just to defend him once again, he shouldn't be able to get me. I'm just going to stick it to the inside here. I need a sweet exit, which of course he managed to get me through here net last time. And I managed to get a pretty good exit there. Yeah, it was not nowhere near me, but not anywhere near enough to get a move into this corner anyway. So just to make sure I nail these apexes now, once again pushing to try and pull out a gap to Firkin. If I can get him out of my slipstream, I might be able to pull away, particularly if he's battling with Jack First behind him. And looks like there's a bit of contact there behind, people running wide all over the shop. And again, benefit of hindsight with watching videos, I can tell you that my teammate is amusing, hit Granu. They both had to obviously wait for each other, and then Kifla managed to get through. So Kifla is now up to 4th position. You see him on the minimap there, bit of a gap to the cars front and behind. So Kifla's doing very well on his primes, but now she needs to push to try and get the gap up to Kifla. I didn't realise Kifla was there just this moment. I think I did either at the end of this lap or the lap after that. Because at the end of every lap you get a 4th position on the left hand side there. It's not just top 3, it's top 4. So yeah, there we go then. So only half a second between Jack First and Firkin, and only 2/10 between Firkin and me. This is very, very close. And needs to try and nail this exit on throttle very early. A little bit of oversteer there, but we'll get away with that. Lots of curse to use as well. And I'm on absolute rich mixture, full throttle, up through the gears. He will get DRS, but I think he'll be too far back to do anything about it. And look on the left hand side there, confirmation Kifla is indeed in 4th position. Only 2 seconds back from Jack First as well, so not far at all. But nice and easy there to Firkin behind, no problems about that whatsoever. And then the apex nicely there. I'm trying to get a nice full throttle corner, which I didn't quite manage to do just yet, but not far off it. As Kifla does a fast approach, a 33.3. Mind you, I did a 0.4 and I was battling, so he is slower, but not by a huge amount. So on the prime tyres, I must say, not by a huge amount at all. But as I mentioned before, one stop is possible. The tyre weight is not really too bad on this particular track. The rear tyres are the worst, but they're very easily manageable. You just got to be careful you're right for it. That's about it. You can destroy them, of course, if you really, you know, if you wheel split out that corner, for example, then yeah, right, you will destroy him. But watch my throttle usage on the left-hand side here. Watch my brake usage into the corner. Probably using about 66% there of my brakes. And look at that, just not quite full throttle, now full throttle. And just being very cautious there, not nailing the throttle, because that is just how you destroy your rear tyres. And it looks like Kifla's actually gaining on Jack First behind, so awesome pace from Kifla. And a little bit wide there, I don't want to be out there. That caused the car to oversteer, as you saw there. A little bit of a gap to Firkin. Need to push now to, as I said before, to see if I can put out any sort of gap in half a second now. A little bit more than it was last lap. It was 2/10 last lap, but still nowhere near what I need it to be. And Kifla's going to be on the back of Jack First very soon. So awesome pace once again from Kifla there. And if he's doing a one stop, I mean, I think we're all in trouble, to be honest with you. We'll see how it plays out. So rich mixture then, using all of my curves, going to go to the inside of the track just to try and get him out of my slipstream more than anything. As I do. Not even a purple lap actually there. Well, less than half a tenth up. So Kifla will still have the fastest lap of the race, so fair play to him. Then as we skip ahead then on to lap 7, and looks like, I thought Furkan was going to pick there, but he's not. But it looks like Kifla's pitting behind him then, so Kifla's pitting very, very early. I'm pretty sure he started on primes. I'm not 100% on that actually now, but I thought he did. Maybe he didn't, but pitting very early is unfortunately there. Gem, or Sem as I call him, loses connection, so he's got a poor connection as we know, but he did disconnect unfortunately. So bad luck for him there. And the only thing I can tell you is, well, Gaston Rivero did also disconnect during qualifying, so he's also not part of this race, unfortunately for him then. So lap 7 of 29 then, 1.1 second gap to Furkan, so we've got a nice big gap, and I am due to pit on this lap then, so it'll be lap 7. So if I pit this lap, I'm pretty much locked into a 2-stop. I would need to take it to about, I don't know, it's Jack first disconnects there. So I touched the curb on the inside there, and that spins around, and a bit of contact there to Furkan. Looks like he managed to get away without damaging his wing, which is lucky, but going to lose a lot of time there, unfortunately, and that was pure concentration there. I just saw Jack first disconnect there, and that distracted me coming to that vital corner, particularly with that bollard on the inside that's tends to be a bit glitched, and just caught my rear tyre on it. That jumped the rear tyre up in the air, and to be fair, that was quite realistic. That's probably what would have happened, then just spun me round. I tried to get on the throttle to get out of the way of Furkan, but just couldn't do it. But it worked out quite nicely for me in the end, especially didn't get damaged. It was all fairly fair. And 4 seconds I've just lost there. So virtually guaranteed now that Kifla will come out ahead of us in the pits, unfortunately. So I had to take a couple of corrections again there to try and avoid that bollard. Very easy to get through there and destroy a car. And I'm actually going to stay out, and Furkan is going to come into the pits then. So I've decided to stay out just because those tyres aren't, I mean, look at them, they're not too bad really. They're worn, yeah, but they're not too bad. So we'll see how I do on this lap. And need a pretty sweet lap here to try and keep Furkan behind me. He was only, that's 1.3 as he was coming to the pits. It was only, I think it's about half a second. So if I can keep him behind me, that'll be quite an achievement. I'm going to push very hard now. I'm not sure if I was on which set, but I'm most certainly pushing hard. And just going a little bit deep there. Got to try and get on the throttle earlier to spin the rears up again because they were under rotating there, slightly locked. And you see that front left is pretty worn now. But that's okay. We'll deal with that very wide there. You can see I'm pushing there when I start to run wide, right down to first gear, get it all slowed down. Once again, a little bit of rear lock in there, just pushes the car wide. Just 6.2 seconds to F1 DJ behind there, who looks like he's probably trying to do a one-stop. I'd imagine this tends to be a strategy. 9.8 further back to Kifla as I ran wide there though. Broke a little bit too late into that corner. Just trying to push a little bit too hard in this lap really. But I've got to do it as I'm now going to standard. I think I must have been on Rich before then. And down to third gear here. And then what was F1 DJ disconnects there. Oh, that's a big disappointment. Would have loved to see how his strategy, like I say, almost certainly would have been a one-stop, but love to see how that would have played out. But real bad luck for him there once again. And there's been a few disconnects. We did try a new host this race. Christian hosted, and he's got an amazing connection. He gets 60 mega down, 60 mega up, and he's got something, well, to his city, he gets a 1 millisecond ping. I think it was something stupid like a 40 millisecond ping to London. He's in Bulgaria, I believe it is. So really, really good connection. So, I mean, it can't be the host. It just can't be. That's really got ridiculous internet connection. And 15.4 to Kifla then. And we will see if I can still stay ahead of him. 2.5 back to Granu then. And will Granu come in this lap? I think I'm not going to be able to do 20 laps on the primes. I would imagine he needs to. I mean, it needs to stay up to lap 10 if I could really. So another 2 laps. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to stick to a 2-stop. I think it's the safe option. And Kifla is indeed ahead of me, but looks like Kifla's the fast lap of the race there. Looks like, was it Furkan? Yeah, Furkan is now still behind me, so he must have caught up in traffic or had a slow pit stop or something. Because, yeah, he's lost time to me in that phase, and obviously I was an extra lap on warm tyres than him, so I expect that has not played out how he wanted it. But still, if I didn't lose those 4 seconds, you know, was it 2.5 seconds to Kifla, I think? There we go, 2.5 seconds. If I didn't lose those 4 seconds with that spin, I would have been ahead of Kifla there, and he'd have been battling me, just trying to get past. He might have got past me with my cold tyres, but I would have certainly been ahead of him and had a shot. So my mistake there. It's unusual for me to make a mistake like that, but I did. So there we go. It's cost me 4 seconds. Could have been worse. Could have damaged my car or anything like that. You can see it's now actually glitched on the inside there, which isn't great news for me at all. And there we go then. So I've got a bit of clear air now, so I need to try and push to stay ahead of Furkan if I can. Because I know that Furkan, he is fast of course. And he will be trying to latch onto my slipstream and my DRS, but I'm going to try and avoid that if I can. Really push hard, because hopefully I might be able to pull away from him if I can keep him on my slipstream. But if I can't do that, then he'll undoubtedly be able to latch onto me then. So 1.3 seconds only then, so very, very close to my DRS. He won't get it this lap, I wouldn't imagine. So I expect that is it. Hopefully I can now push. Now my tyres up to temperature. Hopefully I can push and keep a nice big gap to Furkan behind, and going also again on Kifla ahead. He, of course, tyres are 2 laps older than mine, so I should, in theory, have a slightly better pace. And we'll see how that plays out. 2.5 seconds still then, so he's managed to maintain the gap on the first lap then. See if I can push and get the gap down, and which looks like I managed to do a couple of laps later then. And the gap is now 1.3 seconds then, so very, very close. And 2.5 seconds, that's to Uma now, who, of course, is the guy who spun on the opening lap. So awesome job by him. And right down to first gear, get it all turned in. And 4 tenths back between Uma and Furkan, so I've managed to pull a nice big gap to them two. And I'm not sure if they are battling or not, but nice that I could put a gap to them. But I'm now on the back of Kifla ahead then, so I need to try and get into a slipstream if I can. What is going to be the gap out to the first sector on the throttle, nice and early. Bit of wheel spin now, to a couple of corrections there, but we'll get away with that. And it is just 1.2 seconds now, and so even closer again, a little bit wide there again. Take that similar cut that I took in quali and a bit of extend there. Poor from me there, just turning in too early once again. And so this is looking even closer again now though, isn't it? So hopefully I can sneak DRS. Probably not down this straight, I think I'm just too far away, but it's on the curb there. You don't want to be doing that, and that bollard is even more glitched now. When it's like that, it usually means it's going to destroy your car if you go anywhere near it, so need to be a little bit cautious of that now. I don't indeed get DRS as I thought down this straight. I'm going to go to Rich very early though, just to try and sneak DRS if I can. And absolutely nail that curb there. You can do that, probably a little bit too much there, but you can hit that curb and get away with it. It's actually quite a gentle curb. It looks like an aggressive one, but it's actually quite a gentle one. And what is the gap? Just 8 tenths of a second now then, so I should be well within that. And yes, indeed, Chris Kifla's had another poor sector there, or poor corner rather, so I'm well within the, you can see there, the camera's starting to vibrate. That means I've got slipstream on him, which is good to see, and I will now get DRS as well, so hopefully I can get a move on him. Nail the throttle now, got a bit of curves as well to use, and I'm going to be all over his slipstream, and I'm going to get a nice lot of DRS as well. There we go then, just 6 tenths across the line there. Going to be gaining on him even more down the straight then, and he's going to go very defensive, so I'll stick to the outside here. Breaking out, I managed to make very, very late right up alongside him here. Can I get a move done around the outside? And by the sound of it, they hit that bollard, and I don't think he's got any damage, but that was lucky. He could have easily spun or got damage or anything from that bollard. You really got to avoid them in Bahrain. And wow, there we go. I thought all the time as well, but I think benefit hindsight that he did let me through there. He decided, I don't want this guy in my slipstream, you know, gaining time on me, so I want to let him pass so I can stick in his slipstream while I'm slower than him with his, he's got better tyres, stick in his slipstream with his DRS as well, and then we'll battle out in the final stint. I believe that's his fault train, but he certainly wouldn't have intended to hit that bollard there, because that's just lost him a bit of time. He's now starting to fall away from me. I might even be able to get a gap to him if I push hard, but I've ran a little bit deep there again, and just trying to get on the throttle too early, a little bit of wheel spin. And he will get DRS on me down this straight, so I'd imagine, unless I can push very hard or he makes another mistake, that he is now going to be within my slipstream for, well, not the rest of the race, but for the foreseeable future at least. And Uma's just behind him. Hopefully they start back a little bit wide there. You don't want to be out there. Doesn't really cost you too much time. Probably just cost you maybe up to a tenth. So it's not something you want to be doing really. And I'm up this sector, so it's been a good sector. And 7 tenths still between me and Kifla, so he is going to DRS once again this lap. And I'm not sure what his straight line speed is like, but we will find out at the end of this straight. So I'm going to stand a mixture now. And you just need to nail this exit now. So on the throttle hard now, and there we go. That was a sweet exit. Kifla's actually ran wide there, so that'll be him. Yeah, he's not going to get me now down the straight, and it might even be a second as we cross the line, but we've also got DRS. No, it's still only 7 tenths, but he's going to be nowhere near me come the first corner there, so nice and comfortable. So we'll see if we can push and get the gap out then. And looks like the other guys have managed to actually drop back from me. 2.3 seconds then, I believe, from, again, I think Kifla's made some sort of mistake. I can't actually remember what it is at this time, but he did make some sort of mistake and just fell back there. And Uma's managed to get him as well. He's got awesome pace. He's just 2.3 seconds away from me now then, so very similar to what he was before. So it looks like we've got very, very similar paces. I come into the pits now then for a, that's actually 1 lap early. I wanted to get the undercut on the guys. I didn't want them to get it on me, because I do believe they are slightly faster than me in the race at least. And a little bit held up in the pits there, lost half a second, but not too bad, could be worse. Kifla does pit on the same lap as me, but he's way too back from me there to get DRS or slipstream or anything, so not too worried about him. He's about 2.5, 3 seconds back from me. So it looks like I'm not going to get any traffic as we come out, which is good to see, despite what my engineer says. And here we go then. So we need to push now on this out lap, because Uma is very, very fast. As we saw, he was the one that spun on the first lap, and he was then, before he came into the pits, just 2.3 seconds back from me. So awesome pace from Kifla, really, really well done. And he would have been definitely more than 2.3 seconds back on me after the spin. And particularly when you factor in the traffic, usually you wouldn't then see a guy on the podium after having that sort of incident, particularly earlier on. And well, here he is. Yeah, right, granted I did lose 4 seconds, but even so, he's right on it. But as I just go to neutral there, managed to flick it into first before the apex, and got away with that one. But yeah, as I said, pushing down this outlap, just trying to get a bit of a gap to Uma, who's going to be very, very fast in the final stint. There's 11 laps still left to go of this race. I am still theoretically in the lead, which I have been for most of the race, actually. There's only about 5 laps or so, 5 or 6 laps. There's 1 lap with Firkin, I think it was 1 lap, wasn't it? And about 5 or 6 laps in the middle with Kifla when he managed to get me in the pit stop phase before I overtook him. But I've been in control for most of this race then, so hopefully I can move into the lead, and I would be amazed if they don't pit this lap. Because otherwise you're just giving too much time away to the guys behind with an undercut. And looks like Uma is going to pit. Does Firkin pit as well? And Firkin does not pit then, so he's trying something a little bit different there, staying out. So we'll see what kind of gap we get to Firkin, a little bit deep there. And then supposed to be very wide down the exit, we'll get away with that. And I haven't been paying attention. What was the gap to Kifla then? We'll have a look. As we come across the start finish line here, we'll be ahead of Uma coming out the pits, that's guaranteed, pretty much. And 3.1 seconds to Kifla behind. There's a nice big gap. And will they be battling on the exit? That would help me loads if they were to be battling. And it looks like Uma's going to be ahead though. Kifla is going to be all over him, but Uma is ahead. So hopefully if those guys are battling, that'll effectively give me the win. There's 10 laps left to go. If they battle for 3 out of those 4 laps and lose a couple of seconds, that's pretty much it. And Uma's still ahead, but he is having to defend, so they are indeed battling. And let's have a look then. What's going to be the gap? Uma's still ahead for now. And it's 2.8 seconds then, so again half a second in that pit stop phase there. And we didn't quite see the gap between Kifla and Uma. We now skip right ahead then to the last 2 laps. So they did do some battling, but not a lot. Kifla mainly just sat in his slipstream, and just half a second between the two, but 2.3 seconds between Kifla. So they did close me down 10th by 10th. It was painful. I got up to 3 seconds, I believe, and then they just closed it down little by little. And I can tell you my lap times. I did a 31.4, then I did a 0.6, a 0.6, a 0.6, a 0.8, a 0.9, a 0.9. So very, very consistent by me, considering the tyres were obviously starting to wear more and more during that stint. Very consistent I was, and I was really pushing. I was trying to do qualifying laps, just really pushing hard to try and pull out a gap while they're battling. Just could not do it. They were reeling me in by about a 10th a lap on average, something like that. I just couldn't do it, and it's now just 1.7 seconds to Kifla then, so not a lot at all. I've only got a lap and a half to go. Just need to keep it nice and tidy, and that should be the win. And here we go then, to nail the exit, which I've done. And it looks like Kifla's actually, he's bolted now, and it looks like, I think perhaps he must have saved some fuel, possibly some tyres as well. And he's just now absolutely pushing. He's managed to get Uma over the last couple of laps, I believe it was, and he's now just going to absolutely go for it. And well, this race is not over by a long stretch. We've got 4 sectors to go then, as I'm actually 10th and a half up this lap then, so it's been a pretty sweet lap from me. And the lap we just saw, the last lap rather, was a 32.3, which is 4 tenths slower than the previous lap, so it was a bit of a mistake on that last lap. Cost me 4 tenths, which could be crucial here. Only 1.5 seconds between me and Kifla now then. Trying to nail the exit, they've got a bit of curves. He's not going to get DRS down this straight, so this should hopefully be the win now. I've only got 1 more lap left to go, and I'm 10th and a half in, so that's a 0.1 there. So better lap, and just 1.2 seconds to Kifla. So if I can keep him out of the DRS zone down the back straight, which you can see there is literally back to back with the other straight, I should be okay. But if he can get within DRS zone within that straight, it's going to be very, very close indeed. He's completely dropped Uma there. So really, really good pace. It shows it's not me falling off the pace, it's actually Kifla picking up the pace heavily. And oh, he's pushing very hard. I think he's already within a second. He is indeed 6/10 of a second then, so this is going to be very, very close for the finish, and he must be running rich fuel. I've been running standard almost all of the final stint. And yeah, oh look at this, he's going to easily get DRS, possibly even get me down the next straight. And just need to make sure, braking very early there, making sure I don't lock up, making sure I can nail the apex for a sweet exit. Nail the throttle now then. And pretty good exit, but look how close he is. I'm going to have to use some curves. I wanted to save it all for the final start-finish straight, but I'm going to have to use a lot of curves. I used 250 of curves there. That's an in to stay ahead at least. And I'm going to go to stand now because I'm running on optimal fuel. I haven't got that much fuel left, but Kifla's fallen back a little bit from me there. But he must have rich mixture. That's the only thing I can think. My engineer did just tell me that he's run out of fuel, but I'm still not entirely convinced as I ran wide there. That's not going to help. Going to try to get on the throttle early. He's going to be over me here. He's a little way back, but yes, look at that. He must have been using his curse down this straight. I'm going to have to go to rich. I've gone to -1 fuel. I have to go to standard. He's going to have a look on the outside here. Brake and squeeze him a little bit here. Get it right down to second gear. Get it all turned in. Oh, looks like he's made a mistake. Yes, he's right off the track there. So that is going to gift me the win in the final corner of this race. Gone to lean to make sure I get him in the fuel to get me to the line. And there we go then. Looks like Uma just managed to pick Kifla to the line as well. So that pushes Kifla all the way down to third, which is good for me in the championship. And just half a tenth there between the two as they cross the start-finish line. So close. But what a win. 2 wins in a row from me now. So that's 2 wins for Kifla, then 2 wins from me so far this season, as we'll see in just a second. And there we go then. So actually Uma has only got a 6th. He didn't finish China and then a 2nd place. So he's not showed this kind of pace. So if we can keep that up before the end of the season, he will definitely win races and probably will be a championship contender there. So awesome. Awesome pace from Uma. He really, well, he would have won that race. Honestly, if he didn't have a spin on the first corner, he would have won the race. I don't doubt that, because going from spinning on the first corner, losing loads of positions, he's probably at the back of the field, to getting all the way back to 2nd and almost getting the win. Really, he was pretty close to it. Only 2 seconds off the win. Well, I've got nothing but admiration for that. Kifla, once again, another awesome race there. Managed to use Rich, I presume, for the last 2 laps. But I just about managed to hold on there for another win. So that does enable me to move into the lead of this championship for the first time this season. Then 9 points is the gap between me and Kifla now. So that means in Spain, the next race, if I can, even if I come 2nd and Kifla wins, I'm still be ahead of the championship, so that's good. It's good to get that nice gap there. And what I'm hoping is if I can get another few points ahead of him and pull out a nice big gap, I'm hoping he'll start practicing less, to be honest with you. We worked out, I think he did something like 25, I think 20 or 30 hours practice for Bahrain, so he's been practicing insane amounts at the moment. Clearly motivation is very, very high for him. And I practiced for something like 2 or 3 hours for this race, so a big difference there. And yeah, really happy with that win then. As I mentioned, I thought Kifla was going to walk this race, but actually, as it turned out, Uma would have walked it with the pole and the race win if he didn't have that spin in the first corner. But there we go then, very, very close. Can't complain anyway. That was an awesome race. Spain's up next, of course. Very high tyre wear once again on that track, so not a track that I've traditionally done very well on, but I'll be hoping for another good, solid result. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.